Saint Une and Finn saw me off at the station. I left soon after our discussion. Thanks, bros. I'll make you proud. I was alone inside the lift. It seemed so large and empty, but unlike my first time in it, I didn't feel uneasy. I'm not going down as a criminal, either. I'm an emissary. It's only been a few days since the last time I went. I didn't expect I'd return. Oh, quite the welcoming party. Sir Soxon, Serena's.
We arrived upon receiving message from Saint Une and the temple. I certainly didn't think I'd find you, of all people, here.
He looked incredibly unhappy. His face was tense. And yet, here I am. This is proof of who I am. I showed them the crystal Saint Une had given me. Serena's took it and held it against the light, looking at it from all angles.
It's Saint Une's seal. She speaks the truth.
Yes, I'm not lying, but I'm surprised that you accept that just from seeing the seal.
Only Saint Une uses the seal. Reproductions are outlawed. The hounds have executed forgers of it in the past. We were told his emissary would come bearing this seal. There is no option but to trust you.
I see. Thank you for that. It's very valuable. I shouldn't lose it. He gave it back and I put it into the most secure pocket I could find. Then I looked up at Serena's. Why is that in brackets? Thank you for your assistance. Not this asshole next to you, but just your assistance. I love it. Thank you for your assistance while I am here. I look forward to it.
What kind of assistance would that be? We were only told his emissary would come. We weren't told it would be you.
I was talking to Sir Inez, you know. So she really was just like, I'm ignoring this ass next to you. That's amazing. Don't make me cough, please.
Girl, finish your business and go home, all right?
Sir Soxon spun around and left, cloak billowing in the breeze.
That's no way to treat the emissary. You have my apologies.
It's all right. We don't get along. I exhaled and looked around. I should start working on my assignment immediately.
Is it an urgent one? It will be dark soon. I can't recommend being out at night in an unfamiliar area.
He was right. I should have asked Saint Une how much time I have. I pondered it and tried to remember his demeanor. I should do it as quickly as possible, but it's not a matter of minutes. I suspected starting the next day was still acceptable. Thank you for your warning. I will respect it. Serena's, could you please lead me towards accommodations?
Roger. Follow me.
Oh, zoom! And we ran all the way to the Hound's headquarters. That was great. He led me towards the Hound's headquarters. We stopped in front of it and I gazed at the facade.
We have empty rooms. Sleep here tonight.
That won't be necessary. I can sleep in an inn.
An inn in the prison. The sanctuary district has no inns. The people with homes sleep in them. The rest sleep outside. You are Saint Une's emissary. We can't let you sleep outside.
Won't that inconvenience you?
I said we have empty rooms. It won't. Having you sleep outside would be far more problematic.
Serena's fell silent. I had the feeling he was trying not to force me, relying on me to make a decision. I don't want them to be worried for my safety. I was the temple's emissary. Sleeping outside was perhaps not acceptable. If there were no inns, then I had no choice. Thank you. I will take you up on the offer.
Good. Follow me.
Roger. Oh, it's our old room from the last route.
I'm sorry that your room is so dreary.
Yes, but it is clean. It's all right, thank you. I hope you won't take this the wrong way, but the room is much cleaner than I imagined. I'm so glad we had that callback.
We of the Hounds, myself included, are foul men. Your expectations were reasonable. The Hounds are instrumental for the Sanctuary District, and we maintain strict pest control and hygiene. I hope you can rest well.
Thank you.
Do you have any other questions?
Questions. I thought about it, feeling vaguely like I was talking to a teacher. Actually, you were the teacher. Oh. Serenas, I have a question. Who in the depths, in your opinion, has power and is trustworthy?
In the depths. If we are talking about the Sanctuary District, the answer would be Saxon-Brandenburg.
Trustworthy? Sir Saxon. He is the commander of the Hounds, yes. And that does give him power, but...
Outside the Sanctuary District, inside the depths proper, it's a little more difficult.
I see. Is there nobody there?
Perhaps you could speak to Eltcreed.
Yay! Thank you, Inez. Eltcreed?
Eltcreed Valentine. He's head of the Valentine Bank.
I should parlay with a banker?
He's also representative of a district called Libra Elitis. He might be able to introduce you to someone else.
I see. What's Libra Elitis? His eyes widened with surprise. Then he nodded.
Right. You don't know anything about the depths. Apologies. They live unbound by law, unlike we did in the Heights. But order is necessary to maintain a society. Powerful individuals have organized districts around themselves to preserve order. Libra Elitis is one of them. Libra Elitis is especially young. So is Eltcreed, but he's a sharp, adaptable man as well. Most people in the depths hate the people from the Heights, but he doesn't discriminate.
Really? Even though he's from here?
Yes, and he's well-connected and willing to help those he deems competent.
I see. Well connected. If what Serena said was right, then perhaps he could be trusted. There was value in meeting him. I see. I want to meet him tomorrow.
Roger. I will send word to him that you wish to meet tomorrow. I will accompany you, the area being what it is.
Nice! But there'll be no need for that. Surely you have other things to attend to.
There will be. You've only been here once on observation. You don't know the depths. You've never even seen the area outside the Sanctuary District. If you were to go there alone and something were to befall you, then the Hounds would be held responsible. Please don't resist.
All right. Thank you for your consideration, Serenas. Serenas nodded with satisfaction and opened the door.
I will come to meet you here in the morning. Sleep well.
Thank you. Good night. Such a good boy. Serenas is a man of character. Unlike a certain someone who will go unmentioned. Sir Saxon's face flashed in front of my eyes. No, I shouldn't judge someone I hardly know. I unbuckled my sword and leaned it against the bed. Eltcreed Valentine. I wonder what sort of person he is. Does the word bombastic mean anything to you? I fell asleep hoping that he was someone trustworthy enough to introduce him to Saint Une. The next morning, Sir Inez and I left the sanctuary district. We walked past the station and towards the large wall. We passed a gate in the wall. Our carriage came to a stop beyond. So this is the depths. The carriage turned back towards the sanctuary district and I looked around. The tightly packed buildings, the smoke, the air. This is nothing like what I imagined. In the Heights, I had thought of the depths as a place of squalor and crime. But this area looks very productive. The city in the Heights was more orderly and beautiful, but the city I was now in carried its own air of vigor. There was something to be said for that.
Don't stop. Keep walking.
Oh, sorry.
No need to apologize.
Serena stopped in front of me. I wasn't sure why, but then I saw him.
Hey, you the woman Saint Une sent? The emissary?
Yes, she must be. She's with a man from the Hounds.
It's an odd get-up for sure, but alright.
What? A throng of people began to gather around us. What's going on?
They're showing interest in you, Saint Une's emissary. I'm not sure what we should do now.
You run away, obviously.
A young man appeared from the crowd with hair the color of the sky in the Heights. That's, quite the compliment, actually. Although he would hate to get that compliment. Never mind. He looked back and forth between us with clear eyes and shrugged. Dang, Inez, tell me how you really feel.
The rat.
My name's Ulrich. Don't call me a rat.
Sir Inez? I looked at him, hoping for an explanation. Sir Inez pointed at the young man.
This is Ulrich. He lives here and works as a spy and jack of all trades.
A spy? I see, so that's why you called him a rat.
Don't call me a rat, Cyrus de Stella. You want to know how I know your name? Information is what I deal in. But in this case, it was mentioned in Enos's letter.
Oh, alright. That makes sense. That startled me. Ulrich saw me relax again and ruffled his hair in annoyance.
You're here to meet Elt, right? I'll bring you there.
You?
Word spread that the Saint's emissary from the Heights would come. He told me to pick you up and make sure nothing happens. You know, I'm not a bodyguard, but fine. Anyway, there you have it. Follow me. Don't get lost, okay? That'd be annoying.
Ulrich spun around and began to walk away. Everybody's spinning down here.
I know the way to the Valentine residence. This wouldn't have been necessary, but... many people in the depths dislike those born in the Heights. We should stay alert.
Alright. Dislike, huh? I pondered the extent of that dislike and looked around. Yes, their looks can't be called friendly. Part of what I saw in their eyes was only curiosity towards something unusual, but there was also hostility and incredulity. We would react the same way. To us in the Heights, the depths was a hellhole we sent our criminals to. The people in the depths had done nothing wrong, but we still regarded them as inferior. And all that even though we're all human. It's odd. Good, girls thinking? I'd like to see it. Ah, home sweet home.
Oh, they're here now.
Wow. The ceiling was high and the room was large. The windows carried elegant ornaments. Works of art adorn the room, all looking refined and expensive. I'd never been in such a luxurious residence before. When I came to the depths, Libralitas, that is, it wasn't what I expected. And this isn't what I expected either. The atmosphere here is very different from the town outside. The style is closer to the heights than anything.
Yeah, the guy who lives here is a weirdo. A huge weirdo.
A weirdo?
I admit I can be a little eccentric, but only a little.
Hello. I turned around, startled, and saw a man. He was about as tall as Sir Inez, but a little less powerfully built. He smiled softly and pleasantly as he looked at me.
Elfcreed.
He is?
Indeed. I am the magnificently level-headed, stupendously handsome, renowned scholar Elfcreed Valentine.
Not something you should say yourself.
Everyone is too shy to say the truth about me, so to me the burden falls.
I like that. Alright, so this is Elfcreed. Sir Inez had called him young, but he was extremely young for someone in his position. And also, Ulrich was right. You're a strange man.
It's better than having no personality. Look at it that way, if you would.
Elfcreed walked past us and turned around again.
Welcome to Libralitas. I am its representative, Elfcreed Valentine.
I'm Cyrus Testella. I'm here as the emissary of Saint Une. I'm glad we could meet.
As am I. What brings you here exactly?
Well, you see, I've got this rock.
I see. The Heights are grappling with a complex issue.
Sir Inez and I were sitting on the sofa. Across us, beyond the table, were Elfcreed and Ulrich. Elfcreed held the seal I had from Saint Une in his palm, eyeing it curiously and smiling. A letter was on the table. Saint Une had given that to me as well.
We've come here to ask you to introduce us to someone suitable, but I would like to recommend you as the representative. Your influence in the depths is considerable, and you're competent. What do you think?
Elfcreed being the representative. That's a very high compliment from Inez. I was surprised by Sir Inez's suggestion and looked at Elfcreed. He was still smiling and nodded.
Yes, I'm glad you consider me competent, and I would be happy to fill that role. But...
Is there a problem?
Yes. Heine, you've called my influence in the depths considerable, but that isn't the case. Libralitas was only founded 2 years ago. We are small and with little history to show compared to the other districts. I can't represent all of the depths on that ground, or at least I can't decide so alone.
Isn't that why you summoned them?
Them?
Ulrich, if you're going to speak, do so in a manner they understand. He is talking about the representatives of the other districts. They were already here for a meeting in Libralitas. There was much commotion when they were told that Saint Une's emissary would come.
You act quickly. Did you know this would happen?
Not with certainty, no. I'm a banker, so a certain amount of conjecture is in my blood. Or something like that.
Elfcreed laughed and stood up.
They are waiting for me to come, so if you would excuse me. Heine, could you please wait here? Your presence would needlessly agitate them.
That's all right. The hounds are especially unpopular in the depths.
And I...
Your presence isn't required. but I would personally appreciate it if you were there.
Your personal preferences are always really weird.
I know that, but I am nothing if not a bundle of good sense, and I hide them from plain sight.
I'm not so sure about that.
Trust me, play a board game with Heine and wait here.
No way. I'd rather sleep.
Big mood. Ulrich stood up and disappeared deeper into the residence.
I'm sorry, he's easily embarrassed.
That isn't what bashful people do normally. I glanced at Serena's. He looked taken aback, probably thinking the same thing.
Let us venture forth. Follow me, Cyrus, if you would.
All right. I took the sword lying at my feet, buckled it, and adjusted the scabbard's position on my belt.
Be careful on the way.
I will. See you later.
Thus, as you can see, this is the garden of my residence. Isn't it beautiful?
Yes, it's very beautiful. Will the meeting be here in the garden? Elcreed smiled and shook his head.
We will need to take the carriage for about 10 minutes. There is a carriage out back. I would have liked to exit out the front in true style, but apparently a crowd has gathered to peek at you.
I see. So this way we go. This garden reminds me of the Heights as well.
Is that so?
Yes. Perhaps it's accidental. The residence looks different in style compared to the Heights, but the flowers and the arrangement of the garden are similar.
It's not accidental. My father liked the Heights, and my mother was born there. I myself am quite infatuated with it. I collect their products and have similar ones made. But who knows how similar they really are? Ultimately, we are making fakes, but I appreciate your judgment as a native.
He liked the Heights.
Yes. Not many do, and it isn't well regarded, but yes. But our culture is different, and we live in different places now, but we come from the same people. It frustrates me to see others hate others for no good reason.
Elcreed.
Well, I apologize for the rambling lecture. Everyone is free to believe what they like.
I understand what he's trying to say. In the Heights, I had been indoctrinated to believe that the depths were a foul place of chaos and violence. Now that I'd seen it, it was much more peaceful than I anticipated. The people lived ordinary lives. I wouldn't have known that without coming here. I resolved to stay attentive and look for more information I could carry home from this trip. I was sure that would be a benefit to St. Une and the Heights. Good job, girl. I've only been here for 2 days, and she's like, you know, we're all just people. We boarded the carriage and together headed to the meeting. It looked like we were avoiding the main roads. All I saw were small alleys. After about 10 minutes, the carriage stopped. Haven't been here in a hot minute.
I apologize for keeping you waiting, everyone.
I entered the room after Elcreed. Their gazes were like daggers. These are the representatives of the other districts. The men were the majority, but I saw a few women. Interesting. Everyone was at least 2 or 3 times as old as Elcreed. Nobody said anything to that effect, but I could feel that they disliked my presence. Elcreed took a seat somewhere in the center. I sat down next to him.
Allow me to introduce her without delay. This is St. Une's emissary, Cyrus Testella.
I'm Cyrus Testella. Nice to meet you. I stood up and bowed. Nobody reacted. I noticed the strained atmosphere and sat down.
I will introduce those present. From the right, Noya Temperance from the Temperantia district. Next is...
We don't need to meet anybody else. He's the only one we drew a sprite for, okay? So you did show up again, eh? Alright, Mr. Eye Patch Dude.
Introducing us will take you the better part of the day. Can we skip to business?
To business. What do you say?
I don't mind. Elcreed nodded and explained to them the nature of my visit. She's got this rock. The government in the Heights was rotten. Saint Une, in grief over the state of affairs, was going to reform it. In the course of these reforms, he wanted to introduce a breath of fresh air from the depths.
He desires an expert on politics in the depths to assist in this reformation. I hesitate to call myself your representative due to my age, but I would like this position with your permission.
I don't like helping the Heights, but we can't turn down a request by His Holiness. And I am afraid of the Heights. I don't want to go. You can go if you like.
Should we really send him alone? He is too infatuated with the Heights.
That hurts. What do you think, Mr. Temperance?
I don't like sending you alone. You might whisper unfortunate things into his ear. Allow me to make a demand.
A demand?
Yes. Broadcast your conversations with Saint Une over radio.
Radio? We have radio technology?
If you disclose all your discussions with him, then I have no objections. What do you say, everyone?
It seemed like only I was in the dark. Everyone else nodded readily.
All right. I will be glad to oblige. My subordinates will decide on a frequency and notify the rest of you.
Elcreed rose and, smiling, thanked them.
Thank you for your consent. And thank you for coming here.
Well, he got the job. And I don't think they told him to blow anything up this time. We left the meeting and boarded the carriage again to head back to the residence. When we opened the door, we found Ulrich eating sweets and Sir Inez gazing on.
Oh, you're back already? I thought it'd take longer.
Yes. None of them are particularly interested in the Heights, so convincing them was really quite simple. They did make a stipulation, though. You're eating sweets again. You will get fat and it's unhealthy.
Shut up. You're one to talk with your pasta obsession. This is my staple food, okay?
I can't recommend an unbalanced diet. It shortens your life.
That's fine. Humans have to die anyway. I'd rather eat something I like if that's going to happen anyway.
I can respect that. Ulrich stuffed a wafer into his mouth and continued.
So, what about the stipulation? Do they want you to bring them a signature from Sekie?
Well, personally I would like one, but no. They want me to broadcast my discussions with Saint Une over radio.
Ah, so they want to eavesdrop, huh? Nice taste.
Eavesdrop? Elcreed, what's a radio?
Oh, apologies. It doesn't exist in the Heights, I suppose. A radio is a device that can transmit sound using electromagnetic waves.
Sound? Electromagnet...
Look, Elt, can't you just show her instead?
That is true. I think I have a small one in this drawer somewhere.
Elkreed rummaged through a drawer and retrieved a small rectangular mechanical device. He set it on the table.
I will go into a different room. Focus on this device.
Focus on what? It looked to me like an odd kind of music box. Well, after a fashion. Serenas, do you know what a radio is?
More or less. We don't use this technology in the Sanctuary District.
Why not, though? Actually, don't. I have more work this way.
True. The device is making sounds. That's the message he decides to send. Elkreed, I love you.
Lavender's blue, lavender's green. When I'm a knight, you shall be queen. Did you hear me?
Loud and clear. Yes. The device was making your voice. I was looking at Elkreed and pointed at the radio. It's so strange. You were in a different room and still...
I won't explain it since you probably wouldn't understand. But he can talk into a transmitter and we can hear him from the receiver.
No matter how far away they are?
Yes. We haven't tested it, but it should be able to reach the heights. As long as everyone uses the right frequency, at least.
I don't understand it, but this is amazing technology. Oh, can two people talk to each other?
In principle, but two-way devices are quite large and difficult to carry.
I see. That's too bad. If we had one, you could talk to St. Une without having to come to the heights.
Technology advances by the day. Even receivers such as this one used to be as large as a pumpkin. It might not be feasible now, but it will be eventually. Now then, Ulrich, prepare a transmitter and set a frequency, please. When you're done, notify my men of it.
Righto. By when?
As early as possible. And you should gather your candy.
Why?
It's your staple food, right? Who knows whether they have it in the heights?
Look, why would I ever go to the heights with you?
You will have to. You know more about the depths than I do, and I need you to fix the transmitter if something goes wrong. Is that all right, Cyrus?
Well... St. Une never specified the number of people he had wanted. I don't think this will be a problem. I think it won't be a problem.
It will be! I'm not going to the stupid heights!
Then I'm not going either.
Elkreed.
I'm smart and somewhat knowledgeable, but it's nothing compared to Ulrich. Let's go, Ulrich.
No!
I'm begging you.
Are you 10 or something?
Come on, why not? It's a rare opportunity to visit the heights. You're sure to find good information there.
Fine, I'll do it. I need to make sure you don't misbehave.
Thank you very much. I love you, Ulrich.
He said it! He's just like, yeah. I've heard this before.
Yes. I'll be right back with the radio. Are we meeting again here?
No, let's meet directly at the station.
All right. See you there.
These two. Is Ulrich going to be alright? He doesn't seem very enthusiastic.
It's all right. I trust him. Do we have the crew assembled now?
Yes, thanks to you.
May I voice an opinion?
Of course, Sir Inez.
Just as many in the depths dislike the people from the heights, many in the heights dislike the people from the depths. Elkreed might be attacked, despite his right to be there. If he is injured, The doctors in the Heights might refuse treatment. You should bring a doctor with you.
I was wondering how we were going to involve Adage in this whole scheme. I'm like, I know all the guys are involved in this somehow, but how do we involve Adage in this? It's like, hey, he could get hurt. He's gonna need a good doctor. I love it. Print it. Perfect. A doctor? Yes, that would be helpful. I looked at El Creed, hoping he knew a trustworthy doctor. He shook his head.
A doctor who would go to the Heights with me. Of course I have medical personnel in my employ, but they are only trained in first aid. I'm sorry.
It's alright. I have someone in mind.
You do?